Halo guys, kembali lagi di channel BadRush dan balik lagi di GenshinImpact ya. Kemarin kita sembari menunggu update story keempat di Lantern Ride. Kemarin kita udah nyelesain beberapa world quest dan sekarang sudah muncul update-nya lagi. Dan ini bakal jadi part terakhir dari story quest di Vibrant Areas Love in Spring Breeze atau Lantern Ride tahun ini ya, tahun 2024. So langsung aja kita selesaikan story Lantern Ride hari ini, Lantern Ride kali ini, dan juga next besok kita akan menyelesaikan kok ternyata world quest guys. Oke, kita masuk ya. Kita akan selesaikan world quest hari ini. Oh ternyata world quest masuknya, kirain story quest. Bustle and Bustle ya. Oke, kita akan selesaikan, terus besok kita akan cobain semua mini games yang ada di Lantern Ride. Oke, ada 3 ya, besok langsung tiga-tiganya akan kita coba. Oke, karena hari ini cuma world quest kecil satu, mungkin ntar akan gua tambahin kalau cuma sebentar ya. Kalau ntar cuma sebentar paling akan gua tambahin satu world quest lagi guys. Oke, so di sini kita harus nunggu sampai jam 12. Oke. Let's go, kita ubah dulu. Oke. Ya karena emang part 3 kemarin kan udah ini kan, udah ada scene ininya kan guys, jadi emang besar kemungkinan ini cuma penutupan doang, jadi cuma sebentar aja, jadi paling akan gue tambahin satu world quest kecil lah ya, baru besok kita cobain semua. Kalau hari ini mau sekalian mini games kayak nanggung gitu guys, motongnya nggak enak. Oke, kita ke Kiaoying Village. Plus di sini juga banyak world quest guys, jadi kita ambil dari sini aja. Oke. Jadi biar enak guys motongnya gua, biar sekalian gitu loh maksud gua tuh, biar besok sekalian mini game semua, daripada hari ini nyelesain plus entar tambahin satu mini game situ, besok cuma 2 mini game situ loh. Gua merasa tanggung, jadi mending ini kita selesaiin storynya, tapi ini maksudnya world quest kita selesaiin storynya. Terus habis itu besok kita cobain semua mini gamesnya. Oke, toh juga cuma 3, kalau 4 kan gua bagi 2-2 biasanya, tapi karena cuma 3, kalau dibagi 2 kayak kurang juga, jadi gua rasa udah jadiin satu aja gitu. Oke, kita ke Kiaoying Village. Ngapain nih?
She could float around all day and never get tired. Cream! Gummies!
Wih, ada peti. Belum gua ambil anjir.
Huh? Did you hear that? Sunshine!
Siapa ini?
Blue skies! Good vibes! Right? So Paimon wasn't just hearing things. That voice sounds really familiar. Well, we've got the time. Why don't we go check it out?
Tapi kalau lama paling cuma 1 aja ya guys, tapi kayaknya nggak akan terlalu lama sih, cuma penutupan doang harusnya. Oke. Siapa itu tadi yang teriak-teriak? Lah, kok ada kok ada orang-orang fonten aja. Oh, suaranya Navi ya itu tadi.
I have to say, sometimes the Steambird's astrology column is spot on.
It's just your lucky day.
Are you guys also here to catch the festivities? Oh, and that reminds me, Happy Lantern Ride.
Happy Lantern Ride.
And to you.
Happy Lantern Ride to you too! Wait, if you're here for Lantern Ride, then what are you doing on top of this deserted mountain? And that voice we heard, that was you, right, Navia?
Oh, impressive. You could tell it was me from that far away. You've got good ears.
That or your voice is just really loud.
Well, of course it is. After all, I'm a boss.
Indeed. I suppose it's an asset.
Sure is! Having a loud voice is a handy tool when it comes to communication. Wait. That wasn't even Paimon's point. Paimon just wants wants to know why you two were shouting from the top of this deserted mountain. There was something about almonds, maybe? And buell fruit? Ooh, is it some sort of secret code?
No, it's not a code. The words are meaningless.
Perhaps, but the act of shouting was very meaningful indeed. That's just what mountain climbers do, right? After all the hard work it takes to make it to the top, as you stand on the summit looking out at the vast scenery, it's not easy to resist the urge to release those emotions. Exactly. You get me, partner. I was afraid that it would cause a disturbance, so I asked the locals around here, and they said it was fine. Apparently most hikers like to shout when they get to the top, so the locals are used to it by now. So, you see, it's not just me. I guess everyone shouts from the top of a mountain at some point in their life.
Speak for yourself.
When you're stressed, don't you ever just get the urge to do something for no reason?
Not really. If I ever get stressed, I just go hunting.
Oh, that's a pretty good way to relieve stress.
What I choose to hunt depends on my mood.
Huh?
Anyway, why don't you two give it a try? Shout anything you want. It's a real stress reliever.
As long as Paimon has clothes on her back and food in her belly, Paimon doesn't think there's any stress that needs relieving.
Oh, I bet you guys are just too embarrassed to let loose. No need to be shy. Even Farina was shouting from the top of this mountain earlier.
Furina kesini juga.
Did Paimon hear that right?
Oh ini ya, Furina bakal ketemu Hutaupun.
Believe in your
Aduh,
ears. It is
bakal
indeed as you
ketemu
heard.
siapa namanya
Actually,
guys?
the reason we
Hutau
climbed this
paling
mountain in the first
katanya.
place was also because we heard the sound of shouting.
Yes, we could just about make out someone yelling things like, "Help me!" and "What should I do?" So we hurried up here to check it out. And what do you know? Miss Farina was standing right there, all red in the face. She practically sprinted back down the mountain the minute she saw us.
That reminds me. I believe what she actually said was, "So help me, I will figure out what I should do about this script."
So, you could actually hear what she was saying? Why didn't you say so earlier? I thought someone was really in trouble.
I figured we would come check out the situation either way. Why not let her keep some privacy?
Oh, seems like you caught Farina in the middle of some stress relief as well. She probably would have never thought. No, she definitely would have never thought she would run into anyone she knew all the way out here.
I think so. We ran into Nervalet on the way here as well, but he was already on his way back, so they probably weren't together.
What? Nervalet was here too?
Semua pada
What
kesini
was he
kok.
doing here? It couldn't have
Beresles
been
nggak?
for
Beresles
vacation.
nggak ikut sih.
I think it just might have been, actually. But apparently he only stayed for half a day before heading back. He's a very busy man.
Neuvillette is not the type to take much time off. Taking even a half day for himself is already a huge step in the right direction.
Didn't Charlotte publish an article on the Liyue tea industry recently? Maybe he was inspired to come buy some tea after reading that article. You know, just like you were.
My situation is completely different. I'm here because I was asked to accompany you. The tea purchase is simply an added bonus of this location.
You Fontanians and your tea drinking.
Oh, it's not for me. I lost a bet with Ridesley, and now I have to buy him something. It was just a spur-of-the-moment sort of bet. Ridesley gets really invested in that sort of thing, but he couldn't care less about what he wins in the end. You could give him mint plants that you plucked from the side of the road, and he wouldn't even mind.
If only he was that easygoing when it came to talking business. In any case, I'm pretty sure the tea you bought is this region's specialty. What is it called again? Nervalet even mentioned it earlier. Yes,
Beli
yes,
10
that's
harga
the one.
setengah.
You didn't really buy 10 boxes, did you?
Please, do I look like someone who would fall for that sort of marketing trap?
That reminds me.
Si Anyun beli
You
tapi.
guys said you only came up here because you heard my voice, right? I hope it didn't put you out. You must have had other plans for the day.
Oh, that's right. Hutao.
Tuh kan,
A few
ketemu
days
Hutau
ago,
nanti
we heard that
Furina.
a friend was going to be in Chaoying Village, so we decided to come and see if we could run into her.
Oh dear. We've been chatting for quite some time. I'm sorry for keeping you. That's good.
We should probably head out and look for Hutao.
No need to stay on our account. We just got up here, so we're gonna stay around for a little longer.
Go and meet your friend. We can meet up in Chaoying Village later.
Sounds good. We're gonna head down the mountain then. See you later!
Kita mau nemuin Hutao, ada urusan apa anjir? Kayaknya kemarin nggak ada apa-apa dah. Mana tadi petinya guys? Oh ini dia. Like. Wih.
A reward on the road.
Mana Hutao? Oh itu dia. Oh tuh akhirnya Hutao ketemu Furina, ketemu Zhongli anjir.
Chaoying Village is known for its tea. But you know what else they have with tea? That's right, dim sum! Didn't Gaming say something about dim sum being eaten in the morning? Oh, Paimon wonders if we can still get some at this time of day. Oh, well that's fine too. Paimon doesn't care what kind of tea it is as long as it comes with some tasty snacks. Now let's see what kind of yummy things we can find around here. Paimon's not seeing things, is she? Is that Furina standing between Zhongli and Hutao? Wonder what they're talking about. Zhongli knows a lot of stuff. Maybe he's telling Furina about Chaoying Village. Oh, or maybe Hutao is trying to rope Furina into being one of her clients. Hey, this isn't the Fortress of Meropide. But Paimon could be convinced for the right price. Let's say loser buys the winner 3 huge bowls of seafood kanji. Since Zhongli is there, Paimon bets things are pretty tame. It's decided then. Paimon votes for tour guide Zhongli.
Hustler
Hurry, no
Hutao.
time to waste. Let's go see who's right. Good afternoon, Hutao, Zhongli, and Furina. Oh, great. Now Paimon's shouting too.
Oh, well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Seems like our luck just keeps on growing.
That we were able to meet you both without prior arrangement must mean that this is quite the serendipitous meeting indeed.
Oh, so both of you are acquainted with the Traveler and Paimon then? I'm pretty sure you didn't learn that one from me. I must admit, I am a bit surprised to see you here, Traveler. But seeing as you're a hero who's been all over to that, it makes sense that you would be well-traveled and well-connected. Since we have found ourselves in each other's company within this fertile land, allow me to take this opportunity to wish you a happy Lantern Rite.
It appears you have been to Fontaine then, given your proclivity to spread good deeds wherever you go. It's no surprise that you would make the acquaintance of a celebrity as illustrious and celebrated as Miss Furina.
That's quite high praise. What I mean to say is, you flatter me, Mr. Zhongli. Although I've built up a certain following within Fontaine, it is no reflection of strength or wisdom. I stand before you right now as nothing more than an ordinary traveler in search of beautiful scenery and creative inspiration. There is definitely more to Mr. Zhongli than meets the eye. I could tell as much from our conversation earlier. Given his breadth of knowledge on both academic and worldly matters, there's no way he hasn't heard about what happened in Fontaine. Is he just feigning ignorance for my benefit?
No. You're no common tourist. I simply won't have you talk about yourself that way.
Huh? Does that mean Hutao also knows?
You may not have heard, friends, but...
Miss Hutao.
Miss Furina is now one of my esteemed clients.
Okay, you win. Guess Paimon will have to break into the hidden stash at the bottom of her shoe.
What's this about winning something?
Don't tell me. You two were placing bets on us.
We just saw you guys standing on the side of the road and couldn't help but take guesses as to what you were talking about.
Oh, I see. That means you, my friend, must have guessed that I was trying to promote my business to Miss Furina.
That I do, my friend. What was Paimon's guess then? Paimon thought Zhongli was showing the newbie around.
By newbie, you mean me, right?
If that's the case, then Paimon's guess was also correct.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Zhongli was telling me about some great sightseeing spots in the area.
Ha! You see? Paimon was right too! Since both of our guesses were right, there can't be a winner or a loser. Hey, don't be upset, Traveler. How about this? You buy Paimon a bowl and Paimon will also buy you a bowl. As for the third bowl... Since I was the subject of the bet, perhaps it should go to me? You know, as a congratulations for the huge deal I just struck. I was just joking. Anyway, I should be the one treating you. The funeral parlor is about to bring in quite the sum after all. Oh, Paimon almost forgot to ask about the most important question. Something happen recently, Farina?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you know, with you enlisting the services of Wangxiang Funeral Parlor and all.
Oh, well, yes.
Really? Oh no. Paimon is so sorry for your loss.
Siapa yang
Although
meninggal
Paimon may
ini?
have not known the person, please accept Paimon's deepest...
Whoa, it's not like that, Paimon.
Huh? But Paimon just thought, since you hired the services of a funeral parlor and all... Hey, it's not that big of a stretch.
Really, Paimon? It's not like you don't know me. Do I look like I know anyone who would ask me to coordinate their funeral? Miss Hu Tao is simply helping prepare some props for my film. Not too long ago, I read a collection of horror
perlengkapan
stories
buat
from Liyue.
film,
The
guys.
content was spectacular. In fact, I still feel the need to sleep with the light on even now. Anyway, that's not the point. Now that Fontaine's biggest star has returned to the stage, I figured it's about time the industry enjoyed a breath of fresh air. Hey, that's pretty good. I'll have to remember that for my ad posters.
Oh, Paimon sees. That makes a lot of sense. So, did you come to Liyue just to enlist the services of Wangxiang Funeral Parlor?
Well, not exactly. My original plan was to just relax and enjoy the sights. But then I ran into Miss Hu Tao and Mr. Zhongli, and well, you know the rest. I suppose it was meant to be.
It was a fated meeting indeed.
Zhongli sure loves his lofty turns of phrase. But if you ask me, it's all thanks to that man who stopped to ask for directions. Oh? Who was it?
Pasti nih village.
Someone you know. Wanna take a guess? What? How did you guess that on your first try?
Very impressive, my
Apalah.
friend. Your guessing game is spot on today.
Kayaknya kita ketemu Nevilet juga kayaknya ini habis ini.
Huh. Paimon never thought Neuvillette would be the type to get lost.
I'm sure
Anjir,
he didn't get lost.
Neviletnya hilang.
Even I was able to find my way to this place without any trouble. He was already getting ready to leave by the
Tapi
time
nggak
I
mungkin
arrived.
tersesat sih.
He just wanted to ask someone about the quickest way to get back to Fontaine.
Yup, that's exactly what he asked. This area is full of mountains and rivers. It's normal to not know the fastest route. So, were you the one that pointed him in the right direction, Hu Tao? Of course. I'm also a guide of sorts, you know. So naturally, I also have a great sense of direction. But speaking of your friend... What about him? He doesn't get out much, does he? No wonder. He was stiff as a board and way too polite. I would have never guessed he was here on vacation if you hadn't told me.
All in all, he was only here for half a day. I'm pretty sure he is the only one who would consider that to be a vacation.
Oh? This gentleman you speak of must keep a demanding schedule.
I'm sure he does. You didn't see him, but he was dressed like he was about to attend some important meeting. It wasn't anything like what someone would wear on vacation.
Is that so?
Wait, you didn't see him, Zhongli?
Unfortunately, no. At the time, it appeared as if Director Hu and Miss Farina were having quite the productive conversation. I know matters of business can take much discussion, so I decided to fetch some tea for them.
What a shame. That gentleman seemed like a sophisticated sort of guy. I actually think you two would have hit it off.
Is that so?
Oh, kayaknya ya tahu lah kalau itu naga dari Fountain lah, naga air pasti tahu lah. Gak mungkin nggak
To
tahu.
borrow Miss Verina's turn of phrase, perhaps it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, with the traveler
Kalau Furina
around,
nggak tahu
I'm sure
Zhongli
you'll
itu
have a
wajar ya,
chance to
soalnya
get to know
Furina
each
kan
other at some
bukan
point.
Arkon yang asli. Arkon yang asli kan udah
She's got
mati.
more friends than she
Kalau
knows
Arkon
in
yang
the
asli
village.
mungkin tahu,
Well, that's certainly
mungkin
true.
kerasa ini apa
Oh,
namanya
that
si Morax
reminds
itu
me.
gitu loh.
If you get the chance,
Meskipun
you should
bentukannya
try and talk to
Zhongli gitu
Neuvillette
loh.
into loosening up a bit. Just
Neuvillette
tell
juga
him
pasti
the
tahu
ballet
Zhongli itu
Melonia
Morax
isn't
itu
going to
pasti.
fall apart if he disappears
Kerasa
for a few days.
auranya guys.
He shouldn't keep himself cooped up all the time. Even clams open their shells to let in fresh water every once in a while, right? If he's really that much of a stickler for protocol, he can fill out a leave of absence request. He'd have to approve it himself since he handles that sort of thing now, but you know what I mean.
Seems like this gentleman is also in charge of something pretty important. Sounds like a pretty uptight sort of guy, all right. In my experience, a leader needs to be able to roll with the punches. That also includes knowing when and what to prioritize. It seems like your friend still has a lot of growing to do.
If I remember correctly, he's
Dia udah
already
ribuan tahun
several
hidup.
thousands of years old. You're quite right, Miss Hutao.
Oh? Traveler, Miss Verina. Those two individuals over there appear to recognize you.
Oh, it's Navia and Clorand. Hey, over here!
We saw you all chatting over here, and we're wondering if we could join in.
Please, excuse the interruption.
Oh, so polite. No apologies necessary. Any friend of the traveler and Miss Farina is a friend of mine.
Ah, straight to the point. I like it.
Chlorinde kan ini apa namanya guys, Alkucunya di
It's
duel.
getting late. If we want to catch a boat back before
Makanya
dark, we
Hutao,
should probably get going.
sepertinya ini
Indeed. Then,
apa lahan
Miss
bisnis
Farina.
baru nih.
Oh, yes?
When are you planning to head back? Do you need us to escort you?
Oh, I don't think that will be necessary. I mean, you're not my subordinate anymore. You don't need to look after me.
I didn't mean it that way. It's normal for friends to travel home together if they run into each other on the road.
There are a lot of mountainous roads in this area. I imagine they'll be even harder to navigate after dark.
Exactly. Just like in those ghost stories. 8 paths converge in a wood. Beside them an old house is stood. If you dare to go inside, not a soul will greet your eye. But if you take a closer look, there may be something you mistook. A candle flickers to and fro, yet there is no wind to make it so. What is its secret? What could it mean? In this wood, where mystery screams.
My dear demoiselles, ladies, no, I mean friends, please take me with you.
Of course.
Gotta say, Farina, you are really quite the character. By the way, did I hear you mention that Clorand used to work under you? Then you must have also been a leader at some point.
Well, that's, all in the past now. Besides, being a leader is hard. It wasn't the right job for me. I prefer how things are now. I can come and go as I please, and get to enjoy the sweet taste of freedom.
I see. Well, you've certainly picked an apt place to relax. Xiaoying Village is an exemplary choice.
Only the best. And I've learned a lot, too. Thank you so much, Miss Hutao and Mr. Zhongli.
It's fine. You thanked us more than enough already. The next time you're in this neck of the woods, I'll treat you to some dim sum in the city.
Dim sum. Is that some kind of Liyue term for snacks or desserts?
They are a part of it. It's basically a table full of as much tea, sweets, and good company as you can manage.
Oh, so it's basically a tea party. Sounds great.
Make sure to order the winter melon cake and the lotus flower crisp. They're so sweet and delicious. Paimon knows you'll love them.
Ooh, okay. I'll be looking forward to it then.
Wait, but didn't you guys say you were here on vacation? How come you're all going home empty-handed?
Of course I am.
Oh, udah pada
I
mabuk.
bought tons of fun things to bring home with me. A kite, a parasol, a little tin frog that jumps. Oh, and a stuffed toy of a mythical beast. Chlorand is the one who didn't buy anything for herself.
So, all you're bringing back with you is that tea?
Cuma
And
buat teh
some
doang.
tea-flavored hard candies. They're for Sijuin.
Chlorand isn't much of a shopaholic.
Well, one of us has to practice restraint.
Hey, I'm hardly reckless with my Mora. I'll have you know, all the purchases I made today were well within my budget.
Me? Oh, well, I bought some tea, of course. I just had to try all the varieties recommended in the Steambird. Other than that, just some bits and bobs, you know. A little bit of this, little bit of that. They should all be things I can use. I think.
Now Paimon's even more confused. If you bought that much stuff, where did it all go? Into one of Linny's magic packets?
Oh, actually.
Monsieur Neuvillette took them with him.
Oh, so that's what happened. Wait, what?
Yang bawa
Why
Neville.
did he take them? He's not hoarding treasure, is he?
That's quite the imagination you've got there, Paimon. Monsieur Neuvillette just saw the amount of bags we had and offered to take them back for us. I felt a bit bad
Oh,
at
udah balik
first,
duluan ya,
but,
Neuvillette.
I really did have a lot of stuff.
He even offered to deliver my gifts to the Fortress of Meripede for me once he's done with the day's work. Neuvillette is a man of his word. If he says he can do something, then he means it.
See, even Chlorand was happy to take him up on his offer. If even his trusty subordinate agreed, then who was I to refuse?
Wow, he seems like a real gentleman. Maybe he's not as uptight as I thought. If only the funeral parlor had an employee as thoughtful, proactive, and responsible as him. Right, Zhongli?
Disindir yang
Indeed.
Chlorand said Neuvillette offered to
Oke,
deliver
belum
her gifts to
kelar
Risley.
kita cari Nevillette. Oh, ke Fontaine. Oke. Kayaknya gue selesaiin ini doang aja deh, guys. Besok akan kita lanjutkan apa maksudnya world quest yang lain next day aja, oke? Maksudnya video-video kapan-kapan aja, oke? Hari ini paling ini doang karena ternyata lumayan lama ya ngobrolnya. Terus habis itu besok seperti yang gue bilang tadi, besok mini games, mau mini gamesnya akan langsung kita coba. Terus habis itu lusa ya paling game lain dulu, atau kalau enggak ya itu paling nyicil-nyicil world quest kecil-kecilan lagi, guys, sembari menunggu update terbaru lagi ya. Ini update-nya paling masih lama mungkin ya, dan mungkin next event paling event kecil-kecilan aja, karena kan ini udah event gede kan, plus masih lama, ini masih 2 mingguan lagi paling event gedenya, atau 10 harian lah. Oke, sekarang kita ketemu nih
So if
village.
we go to the entrance of the
Neuvillette udah
Fortress of
balik.
Meripede, maybe we'll run into Neuvillette. But we don't know exactly when he'll show up.
Jadi inti story kali ini cuma ya ini, ketemu orang-orang Fontaine yang lagi liburan Lantern Ride ya, ke Liyue mereka. Oke, menit.
Look, it's Neuvillette. We lucked out.
It's you. It has been some time since our last meeting. Few people frequent this location. Since I was able to conclude my work early for the day, I thought I might take a walk and avail myself of this area's peace and quiet.
You call this early? Do you always work this late, Neverlet?
Strictly speaking, that depends on the agenda for the day. I am hardly bereft of time, however, so working late is of little consequence to me.
Really? If you have so much time on your hands, then why did you only go to Chaoying Village for half a day?
Cuma setengah hari anjir.
First, I should clarify that I was referring to my lifespan, rather than the time at my disposal on any given day. Second, I was unaware you possessed knowledge of my
Liburan cuma
trip to
setengah hari
Chaoying
anjir.
Village.
Oke.
I see. Thank you for informing me. Yes, they have been safely delivered.
Barang-barangnya udah dikirimin.
I have to hand it to Cloran. Just a simple gift delivery, and she has the great and mighty Udex at her beck and call.
I was just passing through. It was merely an act of convenience.
Jadi kurir
Alright.
anjir.
Then I hereby confirm receipt of the goods on behalf of the staff of the Fortress of Meripede.
A verbal
CN
receipt
itu
of confirmation?
villages.
Is such a formality really necessary for a small matter such as this?
Guess not. This quantity of tea,
Jasa
though,
nih Village
seems a little
Express ya,
excessive for a
jadi
gift,
paling
don't you think?
singkatannya guys.
Before you know it, they'll start accusing me of taking bribes.
Ah, about that. Much of that is my own excess, I'm afraid.
Oh? Why? What happened?
It was buy 10 boxes, get half off.
Ah, that explains it then. Well, go ahead and leave them to me. I'll get through this stash as fast as I can.
You have my thanks. Oh, there's something else I'd like to give to you.
This is a stone slate, engraved with a symbolic design.
While that is an apt description, it is in actuality a legal codex.
A legal codex, huh?
Before the advent of modern writing utensils, information was recorded on stone slabs such as this. The law was no different.
Okay.
Since ancient times, the scales of justice have symbolized the fairness and impartiality of judiciousness. As a tribute to that sentiment, this slate was designed after a traditional legal codex and engraved with a symbol instead of text. During my travels recently, I chanced upon a roadside stall offering tourists the opportunity to try their hand at the ceramic arts. So I decided to have a go. We joked with Cloran some time ago about gifting you a legal codex. So, here you go.
Ah, so that's what this is about.
I did not expect you to remember it as well. In any case, I hope this can be considered as a reasonable attempt to join in on the banter.
It is a very good attempt. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Even your sense of humor centers around the law. That's an impressive level of commitment. A gift of this significance deserves to be put on display, and I know just the place. Front and center in the fortress's showroom.
Ah, surely there's no need for such a grand gesture.
Just kidding. I don't have anything like a showroom. But we do have a storage room. We can put it next to all the mechanical parts Sijuin has collected.
That sounds good to me.
So that's what you were doing in Chaoying Village.
Indeed. Of course, while I was there, I also took the opportunity to taste the local spring water.
Anjir,
The aftertaste is
mencoba
much
air
purer than what I have
lokal.
delivered to me in Fontaine. It stands to reason that the long-distance transport has a tendency to imbue the water with extraneous emotion. If you want to experience the true flavor, you simply have to go to the source. Perhaps I should organize some time off to do the same elsewhere. Then we are of the same mind. It appears my desire is justified.
If you say so, but you know you don't have to justify a vacation, right? You can just take one. After all, you're heartily bereft of time. You can do whatever you want.
You're quite right. I suppose I suffer not from a lack of opportunity, but rather a lack of inspiration. However, after reading a few articles about Liyue's holiday traditions, the idea popped into my head and made itself quite at home. Seeing as I was free of responsibilities for the morning, I decided to depart at once. Refreshing. My spontaneous outing seemed to inspire quite a few other spontaneous decisions as well. Take, for example, my foray into ceramics. At first, soil from the ground is granular and unforgiving, but Add the right amount of water, and it becomes soft, moldable, and able to take shape. In the past, I never thought about how quotidian vessels were crafted. But now, I have participated in their very making. This is also something I made today.
Oke, dikasih apa ini? Kayak sendok sayur kan?
That's a ladle? I meant that it was supposed to be some long-necked sea creature.
That was indeed one of my inspirations. Really? You like it? To tell you the truth, given your unexpected arrival, I find myself quite unequipped to give you the welcome you deserve. Around such an important holiday such as this, human custom would dictate that gifts should be in order. But I'm afraid this is all I can offer. If you'll have it, that is. That is precisely why it would do me such a great honor if you accepted. You are most welcome. Happy Lantern Rite. Approve a leave of absence request for myself. That sounds like it could
Izin untuk
easily
dirinya
lead to a
sendiri.
vicious cycle of self-indulgence, something which couldn't be in further violation of protocol. But I suppose I understand her point. My proclivity to refrain from personal outings does, in part, originate from a sense of responsibility toward my duties. But it is also due to a lack of desire to engage in the human world. But now I see that the human world is indeed full of many interesting places to discover.
Oke, jadi sudah selesai. Terus kita dikasih sendok sayur sama si Nevilet, dan kayaknya hari ini dua aja deh guys. Gua tadi kan niatnya nambahin satu WordQuest kecil kan, tapi gua rasa nggak usah deh, kita udah lumayan banyak ini, kita udah paling setengah jam udah ada. Jadi inti dari ceritanya tadi ya, kita ketemu karakter-karakter Fontaine yang lagi liburan di Gyeong Village. Terus siapa? Si Nevidet cuma libur setengah hari, cok, langsung balik, langsung nawarin kalau barang-barang yang mau dikirimin udah titipin aku aja, tak kirimin gitu. Tapi ya itu tadi cuma apa ya namanya ya, trivia ya, apa ya, cuma storynya itu cuma melihat kalau karakter Fontaine ini pada liburan dan sudah kecentang semua ya, jadi sudah kelar semua. So besok akan lanjutkan lagi ke sini, oke? Akan kita centangin semua ini, akan kita cobain semua gamesnya besok. So sampai ketemu besok ya, hari ini kita cobain dulu aja, besok akan lanjutkan lagi. Terus lusa mungkin bisa game lain, atau kalau nggak kita nyicil manja WordQuest lagi, oke? So sampai jumpa besok guys, and have a good day, bye bye.